Okay, here we go. Excellent. Right, let's check the audio as per normal. Should be okay, but yep, okay. Right. First things first, get the usual preamble out of the way because I've got a feeling I'm going to be doing a little waffle before we watch the film. Okay, so good evening. If you are new to the channel, there will be no audio or video from what we're going to be watching tonight. Hence this BYOC or bring your own copy. It's the only real way I could find of like having people, get together to watch stuff since they abandoned the watch parties, which pissed me off something rotten. But I'm not going to let that get to me. There is, and I'm going to get it right this time. There you go. You can see there's a sync timer beneath where I am, and basically that will, as the name suggests, it tells you what point we are in the movie. If like you join late or you want to sync up on the YouTube video or something like that later, or you need to pop to the toilet, whatever the reason, that's what it's there for. Okay, so I think that's the usual nonsense out the way. Right, the Undiscovered Country. Now we have missed off I think it's the Final Frontier, which is not a bad film. And it deals with I remember this time, Spock's half brother, and has some good parts in it, and deals with something which is mentioned in the original series as well, very very briefly. But it basically has one of the best lines I've heard in a Star Trek film. What does God need with a starship? It's just like, that's a good point, sort of moment when that happened. And it's not a bad film, but again, it's the bookend problem. You have on one side the voyage home, and then you have on the other end the Undiscovered Country. And in comparison to those two, it doesn't look as good, but it's not a bad film. I can recommend people to watch it if you like Star Trek. It does have that kind of sort of it does have all the classic sort of Star Trek beats and vibes to it. It's just, like I say, bookended by Voyage Home, which is frigging brilliant, and Undiscovered Country, also frigging brilliant. Okay. Now, sorry, my phone's buzzing or something. Sorry. Okay. So, important text is coming. This one, when it first came out, I saw this in the cinema. Because I was getting to this point. I mean, this came out in '91, so I would have been 15-ish, give or take. 14, 15, around that sort of time. Definitely allowed to sort of go to the cinema on my own. In fact, they probably allowed me to start going. When I was. Obviously, I couldn't get into like the higher rated ones, but I can remember seeing this because I thought, oh, that's cool, Star Trek. I like watching Star Trek stuff. It didn't resonate with me as much. Now, as I've got older, I have definitely come to appreciate this film, to the point where it's probably one of my favourites of the original block of films for multiple reasons. I'm not going to say what those reasons are, but it's because that would be spoiler territory, and that's the whole point behind it. But it really does. It's grown on me. It's the appropriate term. Like now, in many ways, this is the last of the original series Cruise film. Yes, there is there is Generations, which unfortunately isn't on Prime at the moment. And it's not about the extra subscription, but I'm not paying for that. Besides which I've already got. I think I've got it somewhere. Very annoying, but Generations was good. But I think I don't know whether to count that. Would you? I can't decide if I want to count Generations as an original era film or a next-gen film, because obviously that's the whole point. It was a bridging film designed to go between them. So for me, this is the last of the original era films, and there was a lot of cameos in this that have been in other episodes, and there is something that they definitely play into, and they confirm it, that there's a character who turns up, a Klingon, who is basically played by Michael Dorn, aka Worf from Next Generation. Now, it's a classic Star Trek thing they do, where they will reuse actors in different roles and things like that. And a few times people have just said, "Oh yeah, look, that Klingon is like so and so over there," or in this case, in the Undiscovered country, Tuvok, and it's Tim Ross, and they go, "Oh no, he's just probably playing a different Vulcan," and they was like, "No, the Vulcan you see in this, played by Tim Ross, is Tuvok, because Vulcans obviously live quite a long time. They are space elves, but then somebody pointed out why does he have if he's X rank in this and he's Y rank in Voyager, that's not a lot of promotion. And then so they basically added like a little bit on Voyager of lore, where they said that he left Starfleet and to spend time with his family or for some other reasons, and then decided to come back. But then rather than taking his original rank position, he basically started from scratch. So obviously he had a little bit of an advantage because he knew how Starfleet and stuff like that worked. So he probably got, on his second run, he got promoted a little bit faster. But that's probably because he's already, they've already proven, that he's done a good job, and it wasn't like a dishonourable discharge. It's like, look, logic dictates I've got to do this. I'm like, all right, fine. Cheers there, you want to come back. And there's quite a few characters like that in this. Like I said, the Michael Dorn character, obviously Sarek. Sarek turns up. Spock, of course, because he turns up in Next Generation. There's quite a few others as well, but this is one of those films that it's definitely a case of spot the cameo in this. There are so many, for a Star Trek film at least, there is so many ones that you may not recognise, but then you're like, wait a minute, I know that person. Like a certain Klingon captain that we get introduced to, who is, in my opinion, probably my favourite Klingon captain. Just the way he acts and the way he speaks. He's almost like a Klingon version of Kirk. Like, if you say that, for example, there was just like a particular, like, say, mental pattern that was copied one into Kirk, and then you've got the Klingon version. It's that kind of, like, and I mean Kirk as a warrior captain, not as a I don't know, he probably gets it on the Klingon ladies because he's a good captain. Downside is obviously, like I say, this is the last of the original films, including Generations. However, this does mean that next week, fingers crossed, will be is my favourite Star Trek film of all time. And because for me, it had everything I always wanted in a film. And I can remember seeing this at the cinema and just sitting there and being like, yeah, this is because also as well, basically it's about the Borg, and I absolutely loved the two-parter Best of Both Worlds. That for me, I think it's the end of season 3. I reason to mention that because it basically sort of, in the same way that Wrath of Khan continues from Space Seed, First Contact kind of continues from Best of Both Worlds, or at least has a major tie-in to it, obviously, apart from the Borg, of course. But Best of Both Worlds, Part 1, is at the end of that episode, is probably the only... No, maybe the first. Okay. Maybe the first time I ever swore in front of my parents. Because we were all sitting there. Obviously, I mentioned before, my mum loved Star Trek. She got me into it. My sisters and everybody else was watching it. I was getting big into it. The whole thing with the Borg was going on. And it gets, the reveal of Picard as Locutus and everything else was just like, what are they going to do? There's only 2 minutes left. What are they going to do? And then Riker just goes, fire. And then it cuts to be continued. I won't repeat the exact words that I said, but you can imagine they were very colourful metaphors. So it's that was I got in trouble for that. But so you can imagine how sort of I was at the time, and then back then this is when it was on TV, like pre-internet, and I think we had to wait something like we just had the alert come through there. Thank you. Why is my alert's not showing? Oh, thank you. So we had, what was it? We have. I think it was something like at least 3 to 4 months, maybe even longer, before part 2 came out. Obviously, this was like pre-internet as well, so there was no, checking for spoilers or checking for everything else as well. You had to go for like magazines and like going into school the next day, and it's just like, Chris, Star Trek, yep. It was just one of those you didn't even have to say, and everybody knew exactly what was going on. Right, okay, I've been waffling for too long. I've been waffling for far too long because I've been looking forward to this all day. Right, so for those of you new, I am going to do a 5-second lead in so you can get ready and everything else. So, what? Hang on, don't be doing this. Hang on. Whew. I had a little bit of a glitch there. It was saying this video can't be played, but it's okay. It's all good. It's all sorted. I just refresh things. Right, little quick drink. Once again, cranberry juice, good stuff. Right, okay. So if everyone's ready, we shall begin. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Yeah. Again, you may want to put the subtitles on, but flashing images, violence, alcohol use, smoking. Yeah. Now, remember, this is a PG film as well, so there's not going to be gratuitous stuff in it, but it's... Oh, yeah, because this was like not long after Gene Roddenberry had passed. Oh god, that font is quite... Wow. I forgot how bad that font is. that does not no, not a fan. Not a fan. I can see what they're trying to do, trying to be different and stuff like that, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't work. Does not work. Alright, it's Walter Koenig. It's Joe Nichols. George Takei. Mark Leonard. Oh, that music! Oh, there we go. For that dun 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 dun. Yeah, just look at the names that are in this. Christopher Plummer. Kurtwood Smith, yep. That Kurtwood Smith. Michael Dorn. Iman, the model, who I believe was married to David Bowie. Oh, that sounds very sort of War of the World. I suppose it's the whole point. I mean, the font that they use on the side, this is a classic Star Trek film opening. The star background, the stirring music. Executive producer, Leonard Nimoy, never heard of him. based on Star Trek, created by Gene Roddenberry. Nimoy, Lance Kona, Mark Rosenthal. Yep. Obviously, the music is half the thing that sort of makes these films. Wait for it. There we go. Yeah, I remember that making me jump out of my seat when it happened. Ah, Captain Hikaru Sulu. Of course, he has his. It's the Excelsior. The Excelsior is actually a pretty decent ship, but it's no Enterprise. Oh, it begins. Yeah, and the thing is, that in order to affect a ship like that, that means it's not just affecting normal space; it's affecting subspace. Yep. Oof. Yeah, and notice the wave just went to the Excelsior. Get out of my way. Yeah. Sulu knows what he's doing. Especially when it comes to the helm and navigation stuff. That's a cool freaking scene, though. Uh, see? Subspace. Now, this film is basic. Is. What's the word? Yeoman Rand. Yeah. What do they call it? An analogy? Based on a certain event that happened not far from Russia's border in the Ukraine. Little place called Chernobyl. Zoom and enhance. Yeah. How they can be sending a message on what is basically an eighth of a planet. Clean translations. We're screwed. Yeah, because they don't want people investigating. Yeah, it's basically a sort of analogy about the end of the Cold War, Chernobyl, and all that stuff. Yeah. Sulu's the one who called it in. Again, I love the uniforms. Although I think probably my favourite uniform has to be the Deep Space Nine one. Which I think that's the one I've got a replica of. I wonder who this is. And Kirk's face is like, the fuck? Hmm. Yeah, Kronos is screwed. Hmm. This is like the USSR, basically. Not Russia, the USSR. Well, that was a bit bigoted, wasn't it? Oh, that's just like, oh, I, I bet. I mean, yeah, yeah. This is one of those. Yeah, Kirk, you got no choice in this matter. We're sending you. I mean, it's not. It's not often you really see Kirk lose his rag, but this is one of the few times. And this is like genuine. I don't condone it, but I understand where he's coming from. Hey. Ah, yes. Oh, that's such a classic sound. It's like it's never changed. It's still the same sound of the doors opening. I know it's a bit nostalgic, and I know it's not the original TOS thing because obviously, it's the Enterprise A. But there's just something about those bridges that just pleasing to me. Mm. It's like. I was like, everybody in the bridge was like, uh-oh. But Kirk was just like, yep. Oh, that is just smut. That is just a smut shot right there. That's one thing I will never get bored of in these films is just when they do the gratuitous starship shots like this. That's just like, yeah. Like in the motion picture when they did, I think it was like 5 minutes, just basically just showing off the Enterprise, and it's just like, oh yeah. Yeah, as I said before, the ship is a character, and if you don't treat it like one, it's got to have screen time. It's got to have its moments. And whilst I did have some issues with the Picard series, those were forgiven by the end of the last season when they just did the sequence that really shows off what the Enterprise D can do. That was just like, mmm. Look at that. And that's not CGI. That's a model. And I'm now sad that I didn't get a chance to actually see that model physically live at the Star Trek exhibition. So I experienced in Vegas many years ago. That gives me the sad. Like, not replicas, they had the originals there. Still annoyed by that. Appropriate. It's one of Surak's original teachings, I believe. And for those who don't know, Surak was the, should we say, the father of Vulcan logic, would probably be the best way to describe him. That's basically Vulcan flirting right there, by the way. I do like the Vulcans. I'm never going to get bored of hearing that sound. I say, so pleasing. So that's the Katinga class, I think. Or if it's not, then there's a version of it later on that looks very similar to that. And that's one thing I've always appreciated about Star Trek is, with a couple of minor exceptions, you can instantly tell what faction ship belongs to the second you see it. All Federation ships look the same. All Klingon ships look the same. All Romulan ships look the same. All Borg ships look the same. Or not exactly the same, but it's like they have characteristics that make you go, yep, that's a Klingon ship. That's a Federation ship. I freaking love that. So everyone's expression is just like, yeah. For a split second, it looks like that ship is bigger than the Enterprise. It's not. It's smaller. There he is. Best Klingon ever. I don't get me wrong. Gorkon's great, but Chancellor Gorkon. David Warner, that's it. I was trying to think what his name was. David Warner. It was bugging me. Like, the, as soon as he started speaking, you just know that this is the guy you got to keep an eye on. Like, in only one sentence, you oh. It's like just the way he was speaking, you know. It's like, hang on. I just one of those, shit. Ah, yes, Romulan ale. uh, what do we do with this? Do we eat it? Hey, respect to the Klingons though for at least, trying to observe the etiquette. They may not be doing it perfectly, but that's okay. He said the thing! He said the thing! Here we go. To be or not to be? The funny thing is that Klingon probably appreciates this. It's like, alright. So, mm-hmm. That was a nice save by Spock. I'm technically a speciest, but yeah. No. Oh, only. Yeah, I know Spock's like, no. Just the look on his face is like, dude. Like, none of the Klingons got the reference, but Spock did. Because obviously, his mum would have raised him on knowledge of human culture. See, that's the thing. It's like the irony there is like if Kirk had turned and said, "No, I don't," Galcon would have been like, "Thank you for being honest." He would have hated it if Kirk had lied to him. He's doing such a good role in this as Chang. And again, would like to appreciate that his daughter was in the Picard series I was talking about just a little while ago. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't go smoothly, but it could have gone a lot worse. That's the thing, it could have gone a lot worse. Yeah. Yeah, because it gives you one hell of a hangover. Neutron radiation. Hmm, that's unusual. And it begins. So, oh great, my blood wine's drifting off. Fantastic. Yes, and something's beaming in. That's a Federation uniform. As a sort of an aside, even though I have watched this film many times, when we do these watch-alongs and stuff like that, we need to try to pretend we haven't seen the film before. Just in case anybody who is watching hasn't seen it. So it's like, if you've seen the film before, no, you haven't. It's like all this is done like practical effects as well, with like only a little bit of CGI. That's gonna sting. And yes, Klingon blood is bright pink. Easy way to identify the difference between human blood and Klingon blood, basically. Even though small point of order, a phaser would not do that. It would cauterize the wound. So that immediately tells you something. Those aren't phasers in the traditional sense, or they've been highly modified. In Star Trek lore, phasers are almost like tools. I mean, yes, they're weapons, but they can be used like tools. They're very accurate as well. Like, for example, phasers can be set to stun. Those ones weren't. Splat. Oh dear. Now they've got no choice to really either defend themselves. Yep. Yeah, the Enterprise could easily finish off that ship. And Kirk knows it. You see, that's the thing. If they. What's the word? The ship fires on them, they would have no choice but to defend themselves. So. What's what I'm looking for? So, Yeah, again, that Klingon there, could have, would be well within his rights to have stricken them down where they standed for, landing on his ship after, from his point of view, they just shot at him. But he didn't. You know, he used his second brain cell and went, okay, I'll give you a chance, but if you try anything, I will gut you. I was looking at this. I keep forgetting it's David Warner playing Gorkon. He's another one of those he's great actors. Yeah, I think. Yeah. There's one problem here. Well, not problem, but it's a sort of issue that I think McCoy hasn't thought about. Can you guess what it is? There we go. Yeah, how many times have you worked on a Klingon, Doc? Yeah. Klingon biology is similar, but not identical to most upper Federation races. And I believe they have a secondary heart. I think they have a lot of organ redundancy. So killing the Klingon is not exactly an easy task. That's brutal. Also, I just suddenly realised another reason why they have the Klingon blood being pink is because it helps to keep the age rating lower. And I've only just thought of that. Because with that amount of blood, that should have been at least a P. Because this was before like 12 rated films were in, so it would have been a 15 otherwise. So actually, that was a pretty smart move having it as pink. What do you do? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do it. Do it quick. Yes, that's one of the advantages that Spock has. He's got the what's the word? He has the human imagination plus Vulcan logic. Very potent combination. Ah, spot the Romulan. Also, that dude there, the president, not a Klingon. as many people thought, including me when I was younger. Not a Klingon. Not a Klingon. That's Kurtwood Smith. That dude there, the Vulcan, sorry, the Vulcan, the president. That is Kurtwood Smith. Now I can see it. Hmm. That's some good makeup. Seriously, Vulcan sarcasm and sass is like unprecedented. It really is. They are masters of it. Oof. Yeah. Yes. Klingon ships have one major advantage over Federation ships. Well, several advantages. Their weapons are more powerful. They tend to be fast at over short periods of time. Little raiding vessels, I suppose you could call them. Now, Klingon battleships are tough hombres, especially like the big ships. Oh yeah, and that cloaking device thing that they've got. That's not intimidating at all. There he is. It's Worf's granddad. Oh, that's pretty dope. Nice, like the way the transitions are. See, Colonel Worf. See, Colonel Worf. That's what made people think. Hang on, is it's played by the same character with the same name? Nope, it is not the Worf we know, but it is his ancestor. So, what? Like one Klingon laughing. It's like, I don't know why. I just find that hilarious. Like everyone else is stoked, but there's one Klingon in the back. It's like I don't know why. I just find that amusing. Ooh. Oh, that is such a ooh. Oh. Oh. It did, but just the way it was presented was like such. Yeah, that was just a setup, basically. It's cool. Like, yeah, whatever. We don't care. And that was when I first learned what the T stands for in James T. Kirk. Tiberius. I believe is after the Roman general, I think. How did he get his hands on the captain's log? How did he do that? It's like, how? He's kind of right there, though. I'll give him that. Which saved. Which, to be fair, him disobeying orders actually led to saving Earth, so. Yep. That is one of the things about being a captain in Starfleet. What's this? Yeah, what does he say? Yep, that is one of the things about being a captain. Yeah, even Sarek's like, shit, this is not good. Yeah, don't start celebrating. Yeah, they'd be basically sent to the gulag. A icy gulag. Yep. Mm-hmm. A death sentence would have been a mercy, ironically. It's like it's a work camp gulag. It's a very nasty place. Spock's having a think. Spock's having a think. I love that logic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this sets things up for another Star Trek film. Yeah, because the whole thing with Klingon ships is they cannot fire when they're cloaked. However, Think about Valeris. She is. I mean, Vulcans have a natural baseline intelligence that's generally higher than humans. Again, think space elves. But Valeris is, top of her class. She is smart. God, that's even just looking at that. Just I was like, ugh. I can feel me giblets freezing. I'll admit, this is giving me the urge to want to play Star Trek again, Star Trek Online again. I will admit it. But I've got other games I need to play first. Ah, yes. Hello, I'm the Warden. I'm here to give you your speech about how you're going to die. This is my box. I will stand on it. See, good luck. William Morgan Shepherd. Yep. And you're. Yeah, it's basically like ultra hypothermia. Hypothermia. Yep, see, don't even have to use dogs. And that guy's basically. Well, and now he's dead. So that's like what? 30 seconds? And the dude was dead. I mean, granted, he's, only got a loincloth on, but yeah. That's like stepping out into the Antarctic in just your small clothes. Yeah. The ice is so thick they can make tunnels in it. Ignore the fact that the ice looks like plaster. We'll ignore that for now. Yeah. And once again, lots of weird, funky aliens that you only see once and you never see them again. But that's what makes it. That's what makes a show like this or series of films that is great. Is like who's that alien there? Always a big lad. Now, if the biggest dude in the prison is had a mark of fear on his face, yes, that's him on. Like I say, it's at the time a reasonably famous model, and like I say, not that this is the only asset of her identity, but married to David Bowie for absolutely ages. Like I think, like pretty much like they were together until he passed. So, oh great, that's the mashed potato ruined. Yeah, because you have to go to the airlock. Uh, yeah, security guard's just like, so, somebody attacking the mashed potatoes. Everyone's coming and going, what the hell? But it's proven Valeris's point. Oh yeah, Scott is always down for shenanigans. That's one way of putting it. Cutified music. Obviously, you see this creature here, the one that Kirk's fighting now, and you can kind of see where they got the design for the Jem'Hadar for, or at least maybe inspired them. Like, obviously, it's not the Jem'Hadar, but I imagine somebody like who's seen this and who's worked on the designs for the Jem'Hadar gone, that would be a good thing to do, and then tweak it a little bit, do little changes here and there. I wish that Deep Space Nine was on Prime properly, because I fucking love that show. Hmm. I think every mm, yeah, there's a very mm-hmm. Yeah, basically anybody who in the entire quadrant who possessed testicles felt that. Hence the at the end. Yeah, he's going to be singing soprano. Oh, the cat. What about noise? Yeah, it's always just before retirement when shit hits the fan. Excuse me. Definitely terrible. Yep. In one sort of a fanfic, I read, or maybe one of the books, like which is like sort of beta canon type thing. There's a alternate future where and it's kind of addressed in Star Trek Online, where the Klingons kind of join the Federation, sort of, maybe, and they basically take on security for the Federation. Hello. Hi. And in this case of like, yeah, okay. We like fighting, we like kicking ass. That's not something you're too keen on. We'll do it for you. Hello, Fuzz. I have a cat who's decided to join me. And honestly, it's one of the sort of things that the rest of the like the Romulans and stuff like that get very nervous and upset about the Klingons and the Federation officially working together. Hello. So someone's been very snuggly. What's up? Hey? You just want some attention? Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I know. Oh, careful. So, so cat hairs everywhere. Spock's like, sorry, McCoy's like, oh, really? Again? Like, dude, even in prison. Keep it in your pants. Ah, anybody know who that is? I think it's an uncredited role, if I remember correctly. Yep, Christian Slater. Yep. Just clarifying orders, sir. I think also as well, showing that even the captains have modest quarters on, what basically the Federation flagships like the Enterprise and the Excelsior. It's not until you get to like the Enterprise D, which is huge in comparison, that you get massive quarters for even like the officers. Hey, hello. So, all of them. Yep. And it's like what, 350 people on the ship? That's a fair amount. Hi. You're being very snuggly. What's going on? Hey? Sorry. Even though I know it's completely not related to the same character, the name Dax is used by one of the major one of the major characters in Deep Space Nine. So it just makes me laugh seeing the name on there, and it's completely not the same character. So, wait, what? What? So, what? Wait, what's going on? Oh, yes, of course. They're all Russian. Like, yeah, that's not. He can't be wearing that shoe. So someone's tried to frame poor Dax. He's probably one of the few people who could honestly say, "Yeah, when I'm like, hello." Now, what type of creature do you think she is? Okay, I know you can't really sort of experience it on the film, but just imagine how oppressive working in that mine must be. It's either going to be freezing cold, boiling hot. You've got all the gases everywhere. You've got back-breaking work. You've got the fumes from the digging and everything else like that. That's going to be hell. Hmm. Kirk is like, ugh. Wait, nice transition. Now, either that's going to have to be really cold or really warm in that outfit. Oh, Mr. Crispy. Sorry, no, Mr. Crunch, I should say, not Mr. Crispy. That's a that's a dead Klingon. They're pretty hardy Klingons. So if they died of frostbite, ugh. So not only did I have to escape from the prison itself, I have to climb up the ice shaft, cross that, freezing their giblets off, all to get out from underneath the anti-beaming shield. Fun. Hmm. Nice. Well, that was a nice panning shot. I think that's what it's called, a panning shot. Oh, look at that. See, when you see shots like this, part of me is thinking, oh yeah, that's like a, you know, like a set or something they built. But then another part of me is thinking, no, there's places on Earth that legit look like that. What? It means we have to use both of our brain cells, Mr. Chekhov. Oh dear. Now is that when he basically and why? Oh, they're looking. But you got to survive till they get here. Despite what Star Trek Into Darkness said, you cannot beam. Transport beam is not a thing. Right, Fuzzball. You just want some attention, don't you? Oh. Bored Klingon guard. Like, yeah, look, I was enjoying my blood wine, okay? Just. Yeah. Again, the universal translator was a great way of explaining why every character speaks English, or American English even. But there's some logical issues with it, but they're thinking, oh great, they're idiots. Are we dealing with Packards? Oh, everyone's working together to translate everything. It's like, laugh, damn it. uh, it's just the little touches like this, which I didn't appreciate as a kid, but I've definitely I've grown to enjoy as I got older. Yeah, yeah. This is not like the founders in Deep Space Nine, because these can only assume humanoid forms, whereas founders can assume basically any form they desire. You're okay. Hmm. He was. Yeah. Now, I don't know if this is true. This is more my head canon. I like to think that that's one of the reasons why she kissed him, was to get a sort of, for want of a better term, sample of his genetic structure, so she could assume his form easier. Or maybe it requires close physical contact to be able to learn the pattern, sort of thing. Oh, and right on his spuds. That's a big tooth. So, well, Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, please tell us. Just like, God damn it! Like literally just like, God damn it! Look at that ready room. They practically copied that into generations for the captain's ready room. Oh, hello. Yeah, that's they hid them in the vents. Actually, pretty smart move in an area of the ship that's very rarely used. It's only used for like official briefings and whatnot. Ah, there he is. Again, yeah, bird of prey that can fire whilst cloaked is incredibly dangerous and extremely difficult to do. Oh, Shazbud. Yeah, cloaking technology is a bit of a interesting thing in Star Trek. Yep, and that would have fried their brain cells. Because even a phaser set to stun can kill. There we go. Yeah, lower power, but at closer range, boom. Smart move. Hmm. Yeah, the shared bunks. So I was keeping an eye on the cat. But Harris. Yeah, that's the thing. Spock's pissed. That's like that's again seeing Spock pissed is like, oh, And that's how they got the log. No. Mm. It's like, oh. And Kirk's just realised that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh. Like, again, the significance of what she's just done, said there, is massive. That, like I say, remember, whilst Vulcans are not very prone to anger, obviously remember, Spock is half Vulcan. So, which is why he does have the very occasional emotional outburst. Yeah. And this scene is akin to Vulcan torture. The mind meld. He's basically forcing his way into her mind. And it's not pleasant. Because she's obviously resisting him, and she is a full Vulcan, so her mental barriers are stronger. He's pretty much having to metaphorically, mentally speaking, beat the crap out of her. You can see like she's like, yeah, and she's resisting, which is impressive. Yeah, and then let's just say that I got to choose my words carefully here. That forcing a mind meld on someone is, I'm trying to find the right words. Very unethical. I suppose it's probably the safest way I could describe it. Hmm. I forgot it was Kittimer. Kittimer becomes very important in. It's not the first Enterprise to head there. Sorry. What's I'm looking for? There's the Enterprise C is connected to the is connected to Kittimer. I won't say any more because we're getting into spoiler territory for that. But it is yes, Spock is not happy about what he had to do. hand poses that they do for the Vulcans, like the this Vulcan salute. Freaking love that. Took me years to figure out how to do that. That and almost breaking one of my fingers. hmm And then there's McCoy. Exact. Oh, you're right. Isn't it Narendra free? Wow. I need to go and retire my Star Trek geek card. I'm going to sit in shame corner now. No, it was Worf's parents. That was it. It was Worf's parents was connected to Kittimer. There we go. Yes. So I was right. I'll give myself half a point because it was the Enterprise, just the wrong Enterprise. Yes, the Kittimer massacre. That was it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go and hand in my Star Trek nerd card now and tear it up. Oh, that incident with the Enterprise C. Oh, that was good. And the thing is, when Spock said that again, Vulcan sass, very very subtle and understated. I thought it was a Packers then for a moment. It's like, wait, what are the Packers doing there? It's like, nope, nope. Yeah. A Klingon ship that can fire whilst cloaked. I fucking love this part of the film. It's like so tense. It's like they know they're there, but where are they? It's almost like a mirror in many ways to like what they did with Khan in the Nebula. But it's like it's reversed. That's not suspicious at all. What's that film? Was it Red October with the submarine that had like a kind of stealth mode to it? Like not true stealth mode, but it was like almost. Yeah, that's a great film, bro. It was Red October, cool. Sean Connery. Ah, yeah, I love this scene. So, the caterpillar drive, that's it. Yeah, so it's not a true stealth drive, but it's like damn close. Onto the breach, dear friends. Henry V, I believe. Takmach, Takmach. Hmm. Yeah, that was actually a pretty damn smart move. However, seeing the Excelsior coming like that. Oh, damn it! There's something about seeing. Like, I think it's in Battlestar Galactica as well, when you have the. Oh, I've got to be very careful. I almost said a spoiler there. But there's a particular scene which echoes this. Awesome scene. Hello, are you back on my lap, are you? Okay. God, it's like the tension that's being built up. Because there's two events going on. There's the what's about to happen at the conference. Prick us, do we not bleed? Ah. Ah. You know when a villain starts quoting the classics, it's getting good. See? That's the thing about her that a lot of people forget. They think she's just a communications officer. She is a communications officer. She's also probably the best communications officer in the Federation, and she's on the Enterprise, which means she's not going to be a dunce. She's pretty smart. It's just her speciality is in comms and languages, which is something I definitely appreciate that Strange New Worlds addressed. That they showed that Uhura is a smart lady. Oh, again, the music is so freaking tense. Ah, the Excelsior. Aim is afoot. Yep. Target the Excelsior. Yeah, again, havoc! And let slip the dogs of war. Now, whilst I did appreciate this more as I got older, this scene had me on the edge of my seat in the cinema. Because it's like, how can they fight against a ship that's invisible? Like, I understood like the main beats, but not the nuance, as it were. Simulation, eh? Hey, hey. Uh, Here it comes. Here it comes. Wait for it. He knows. He knows what's coming. Be or not to be. Target that explosion and fire. Ooh. Now, here's a fun fact. That scene there, the bird of prey explosion, that gets used again in a later film. A shiny gold star, if you know which film it was used in. Like, oh, shut bud. Yeah. And in fact, it's a Klingon assassin. And dude shat himself. It's like, look at his face. Oh, I was not expecting that today. Hello. Cat. Hello, cat. It's like, it's been the entire Federation and galaxies holding its breath right now. It's like, it's like, are we about to go to war? Or are we going to at least have some kind of... Oh, we're going for peace. Okay, we're clapping? Right, we'll start clapping. Again, I love the sort of like the one-off aliens. You know, they've just like they just turn to like the costume department and go, right, go wild. Just make them look as fancy and as, you know, maybe draw some inspiration from traditional Earth cultures. Look at that. Space smut. Oh, that's such a lovely scene. No. Okay. Well, as soon as you say you wanted the Excelsior and he got it. Oh, look at that. That is just such a perfect shot. Like, it really is. Yeah. Yes. And the thing is, the Excelsior design is so freaking good in lore that it's still used with minor updates. For the Enterprise B. Which I believe is an Excelsior class, funnily enough. Which imagine, please, Scotty. Yeah. Yeah, the Enterprise A, we only knew you for a couple of films, but... Yeah. If I were human. Yeah. Like I say, excluding Generations, at the time they didn't even know they were going. There was this was before Next Generation became, you know, as big as it did. So, in fact, actually, when did Next Generation start? I'm going to go by the US date just to make it easier. 94. 1994. '91. So yeah, 3 years later before TNG. Instead of thinking, and that's when they changed it because they realised it's like, yes, literally flying off into the sun. Yeah, that's when they changed it from no man has gone before to when no one has gone before. This is the crew literally signing off. I just want to watch this a little bit because it's like I say, last of the original series stuff. So, yeah. DeForest Kelly. Learn Nimoy. Yep, Learn Nimoy. William Shatner. Okay. I think that's. I think that's where I'm going to end it. Right. Okay. So, before I forget, oops, no, press the wrong button. There. Okay. Before I forget, regarding RimWorld, I did try to fix and do a rollback on stuff with things, but it seems like the one of the mods was causing an issue, and I'm gonna have to wait for it to be updated, because if I add the characters back in, there's a high chance they could be deleted again. So, considering that next week on Tuesday was when I was going to announce it yesterday, I think, yeah. But next Tuesday will be when the new expansion for or the new big update for Elder Scrolls Online is going to drop, which involves subclassing. So I think, from a story point of view, I think ending it season 1 of RimWorld is as I'm thinking it, because I will return to it once the mods and stuff have been updated and things like that. And I might even try and fix it myself, but it's like I'm gonna have to do some serious backups and tweaking with it. But I think ending that season, war's been declared. We've got two of our colonists who are basically, one of them's in a coma, medically induced coma. The other one is like keeping guard. There's a raid coming to them. From a storyline point of view, that feels like a good sort of cliffhanger stopping point to go for. Bear in mind, like I say, I might be able to adjust and fix it, but I've got to be careful, because also as well, I've found out recently there's another big update coming for RimWorld to 1.6, or possibly even a new expansion coming out, which means there's a small chance that more mods will break. So I'm going to have to sort of be very, very careful with RimWorld at the moment, because it's taking ages, because people do it for free, but that's fine, that's okay. And I did mention, I think it's a couple of months ago, as soon as I found out about when Elder Scrolls it was bringing in this big update. But what I'm going to do, I've created a new character. I've done the basic setup, for like the add-ons and things like that. For ESO, I've still got my old character Valen if I get bored with my new one, and there's a few things I would have to do on my old character to unlock things for my new character, if that makes sense. All I will say now about what the character class is going to be is, I'm not going to reveal what class it is, because there's quite a few, but I'm going to say now it's a Khajiit, because I freaking love the Khajiits. They are my favourites in ESO, very closely followed by the Argonians, like the lizard people. I like cats. I'll make no shame about that. So that's going to be like the new season, as it were. I'm probably going to call it something like the Chronicles of whatever the character's name is. I've forgotten what it is. So we'll address that on Tuesday. And then what I'll do is I will just tinker with things in the background whenever I get a chance from RimWorld. And as I said, there's also a very small chance I may reinstall Star Trek Online. Maybe. I'm not saying definitely yes, because I did get a bit burnt out on it playing it before, but I think what it is if I try to stay away from like the more grindy events, if I do start playing Star Trek Online again, and just focus more on the story and the character, I don't think I'll get as burnt out as much. But again, that's not a definite. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see. It's on the maybe list, if nothing else. And I think also as well, because of my old character I pretty much got, for me, a ship that was basically perfect for me. That starting again from scratch, maybe, creating like a maybe like a science character or something like that. I don't know. We again, I'm just tinkering with ideas because obviously I'm also starting up soon, well, soon-ish, a Star Trek Adventures campaign using the rule system from Modiphius. I won't be streaming that because that was very, very stressful last time trying to do that. But I will be playing with it, and I can say that these films and the Star Trek Online is research, so I've got that as an excuse. But yeah, that's just our future plans, how things are going to happen. But I think for now, one last thing. I meant to mention this before, and a few people I have mentioned it. But tomorrow evening, I am being interviewed on a podcast. I'm going to post a link. I'm going to post a link in chat about it. It'll be tomorrow on YouTube, 7 p.m. UK time. And I'll say I'll post the social post in chat. There we go. I will post about it in there. I'm being interviewed on a podcast. So that's by the, what's it? Can I get the name correctly? The Rookery Publications. It's going to be talking about generators and other nonsense and bits and pieces like that, all connected to RPGs, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, that's going to be tomorrow. Say 7 p.m. UK time. I don't know if there's going to be like a chat or anything like that. I think it may just be a like a live stream, but we'll see. But for now, I will say good night. And yeah, if you're able to join the stream podcast that's being hosted by the Rookery tomorrow, fantastic. If not, obviously I'll be posting links for it on the socials and other stuff. But for now, have a good weekend. Bye bye.